Lightning like Steve McQueen, I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit, cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly, better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder, and I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines and, most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I only speak to transportation professionals on this show, as well as my twice a week long form podcast, you guys, because I want to put the right information out there from people who have done what you're looking to do or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve. You guys, so you can put that information out there and apply, utilize, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I proudly fly this American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. Solo show today. We got a couple of interesting articles to break down. And then, yeah, I'll be on the road, the Freight Coach Road Show, we call it this week. I'll be up in Denver. I fly up there this afternoon, but I'll be doing my live show from there on Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll be back in studio on Friday. I'm getting out on the road, and I'm visiting some customers, visiting some prospects as well, and getting out there and showing face, you guys, because I feel like at the end of the day, I got to show that I am a real human being and not just an email coming through or a phone call coming through every couple of days. But yeah, we'll get into that. But before we do anything, as always, you guys, I'll give you a shout out to my friends over at VHub, vhubapp.com. Whether you're a broker, carrier, or a shipper, we all need access to trailers at some point in time. And you also get paid to move these trailers, you guys. And that's on top of the revenue that you can get by loading these trailers out. Okay. So if you want to run this power only or create a drop trailer pool, you can organize all of that. And then the money you get paid on these is on top of the revenue that you get by booking these trailers out with some freight in them. So what they're working on right now, you guys, Staunton, Wisconsin, heading over to Milton, Ontario, you guys, they got 100 trailers available right now, and they pay $525 US per trailer. They also have 164 trailers out in San Diego, California, you guys, and they go anywhere from $1,100 to $2,200 per trailer. They have roll-up doors as well as swing door drive-ins, you guys. It goes everywhere from Texas, Tennessee, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, Arkansas, New Hampshire, Mass, New York, you name it, you guys. They're literally going all over the country. And they finally have Paragould, Arkansas, going to Mississauga, Ontario, and it pays $736 US to move these, you guys. So again, you don't have to just find shippers in those areas. Like, you can stage them in other locations. You organize that, you drop them in. They just got to end up in those destinations, you guys. So hit them up, vhubapp.com. My friends Stacy Steen and Zach Lonergan, they'll be in the audience. Just do me a favor, let them know that the Freight Coach sent you. Tracy St. Clair, good morning. She's watching over on YouTube. Appreciate you tuning in as always, Tracy. And then Sunny Sharma, let's go. Orange Shirt Gang on this hot. Dude, it is, I mean, again, it's Arizona in the middle of the summer. So I'm not, nobody cares about the heat that we got right now. But dude, it's it's wild, man. Like, I should have pulled this up, but it's like this coming up, it's been like 110, 112, and it's supposed to get up to like 116, 117 this weekend, and it's supposed to sit around that. So yeah, I get it. It is hot right now. It is definitely warm. All right. So yeah, you guys, opportunities that are out there right now. We're going to break down a couple of articles. I was alluding to this yesterday about the potential windfall that is going to come from a walkout / strike at Yellow and UPS. And we got a couple of articles geared towards this and what impact it could have on the industry. And, there's disruption is not necessarily a bad thing when it comes down to the market. But, I think that every opportunity that you're really fighting for is, man, it takes so, like, the opportunity that you want, especially when you're going in there and looking for new business. Again, you guys, this is just coming from somebody, because like all the content that I've ever created has been based on my real experience in the industry. I've been in this industry for damn near 15 years at this point. And, a lot of what I'm gearing it towards right now is what I'm personally going through in building up my brokerage, because I'm out there doing the business solicitations, I'm moving the freight, and I want to bring all of this down to everybody who listens, right? Because I know I'm not the only one who struggles in sales. I know I'm not the only one who struggles with a lot of shit that everybody else does. I'm just not afraid to talk about it because to me, it's the reality, right? Like it's fucking hard to get out there and build this stuff up. But the opportunities that you are fighting for are not always going to be what you want them to be, right? Because I think like a lot of people go out there and then they just want the easy freight. I want easy freight too, but I also want to earn those opportunities. And I think like a lot of individual strategy is I'll just cover the hard shit until I get the easy stuff and then I'll stop. And for me personally, I think that like that's how because like I'm hearing a lot from a lot of my prospects right now, like, hey, we're good. We're not adding anybody. We're fine. I get it. That's cool, but again, I will always rely on the fact that the opportunity is going to come. Someone's going to fuck up sometime. And I want them to think of me first. And then that first opportunity that you get though, it's not going to be the load that you want, right? Like they don't need help with power lanes, like creating a drop trailer pool. Like I talk about this, and again, like VHub's been a long time sponsor of my show, but like that gives you an opportunity as a broker to run that, right? Especially if they have a drop trailer or a power only opportunity. This gives you an opportunity to really offer that because that might be their need right now. And you got to think outside of the box when it comes down to finding a solution because that's what we're here to do as a broker, right? It's not just here, give me some of your freight to quote on, bro. Like I got trucks, bro. It's what solution can you provide that actually adds value to a need that your customer has? Because again, my main focus in everything I do is to get my customers to buy more freight from them, to buy more product from them. Because 90 some percent of the loads that you deliver, unless it's a transfer load, are going to your customers. So again, how do I make them look that much better in my approach, in my process? And that's something that I like to deliver in my sales outreach. I want to put that stuff out there because I'm not just here to quote on your loads. I'm here to add value to your network. And that's something that I am committed to every single day. Every single person that I reach out to, I know I can help. I know I can add value, but it's on you as a sales rep to bring that information to light, right? So don't get frustrated in when these opportunities arise and it's not what you're looking for, because all of like the large accounts that I've ever onboarded, when I first started working with them, I didn't know how big they were going to be, because it was always like short haul loads or small margin loads and stuff like that. But they turned into very lucrative accounts. And if you talk to real sales reps out there, not the people who inherit books of business because people leave, I'm talking about real hustlers. You talk to my friend Chris Brewer at River City Logistics. You talk to my guy Gabe Pankinen, who comes on the show a lot as well. And, Cody Kaler with A&Z Trucking, you talk to real hustlers out there who are out there and who have brought on accounts. They're all going to tell you the exact same thing is it took a long time to develop these relationships out to get access to that better paying loads and those more opportunities. But the reason why is they didn't stop working on everything. And I think that that's a fatal error by a lot of sales reps is they're like, I'll only work this until I start getting access to that other freight. Then I'm going to stop. Well, if that's your strategy, you're going to probably find yourself resetting your book of business because there's going to be a broker out there who's like me or who are like the guys that I just mentioned who will continue to service literally everything so you don't, right? And that's got to be your mentality, you guys. It takes a lot of effort to onboard customers in any market. But the beauty of it all is it gives you a sense of appreciation of the reality of how hard it is to earn somebody's business and how much harder you got to fight to keep that business because, it's not easy, right? And when it's an up market, like a lot of people who came into this industry experience, they think that that's just like customers are recyclable and that you're just going to find other shippers. And that's just not the case, you guys. You got to fight for literally every opportunity that you get. And then just because you moved 100 loads for somebody doesn't mean you're entitled to the 101st. that you have to fight for that next opportunity every single time. So that's always just my little quip on, the realities of what I'm going through out there right now. And, that's why, another one of the reasons why I got, when I got back into it the way that it is I just wanted to bring more validity to my content. I want everybody who listens to this to know that I'm fucking in the trenches with you. I'm not just talking about it. I'm doing it and I'm living it and I'm going through it just like every single one of you. So Andrew Teal says it's 70 in Wisconsin. That's a heat wave back there, man. You better put on your sunscreen, dude. Flo, she says it's hot up here in Toronto. Sonny says, yeah, it's the same temp range over here the next 10 days. I get it. April Maroney, good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. Mike, what is up? Mike Mikulik. I'm going to be hanging out with that guy next month. I can't wait to see that. I got my agency, you guys, my brokerage, everything's ran through SPI Logistics. If you guys want to become an agent, take control of your financial future, have one of the, if not the best tech stack available at your disposal. And if you like getting paid direct deposits every Friday, like I get from them, hit up Mike, hit up SPI, you guys. You seriously, it is as advertised. It's straight up, you guys. It's been a phenomenal partnership out there. Cam, what is up? He says he gets excited when he gets that notification that the Freight Coach is live. I'm glad you're getting those notifications because I've heard that people don't always get those notifications, Cam. Appreciate you, bro. Sonny Sharma, it's easier to lose the bit. Yeah, 100%, man. It's so easy to lose business in any market. So speaking of possibly losing business, we're going to break down some articles today about the potential strikes at UPS and Yellow, you guys. And again, I put the links to all the articles I break down on the YouTube channel as well as the audio only replay of this, which is up on iTunes and Spotify. Just look for Coffee with the Freight Coach. And you guys read these articles. And, if you get value out of what you hear here today, subscribe to the show. You guys rank the show over there. You guys, if I think I got 5-star effort information, give me a 5 stars. If you don't. I mean, it's all a value exchange at the end of the day, but I know I give 5-star information for you guys. That's why you guys keep coming back. Rick Wooten, good morning, sir. Orange Shirt Gang, he says, all right, ttnews.com. Walkout at UPS would have deep impact on economy. Shipping volume is not fully absorbable by other carriers, which you see some other outlets sitting there talking about how it'll just be absorbed. So this is why I chose this one. I got clickbaited on this article. The potential for a strike by UPS workers if a new labor agreement isn't reached with our friends over at the Teamsters holds significant implications. UPS is huge. They have multiple businesses that could be affected by this. Everything from overnight air to regular ground parcel and their LTL business, said Paul Bingham. He's the director of transportation at S&P Global Market. They're a big player in many portions of freight activity. A strike, if it happens until it gets resolved, is going to be a problem for UPS. I think that somebody will be able to find the capacity that's out there. The current contract for its 340,000 unionized UPS workers expires July 31st, and the Teamsters have said members will not work under an extension. Talks have been at a standstill since after the July 4th holiday. On a daily basis, UPS moves an estimated 25 million parcels, which accounts for 6% of the nation's GDP. A strike would affect many sectors that were out there. An area that will get hurt very quickly is healthcare, said Jason Miller. Surgical devices, medical devices, the distributors to hospitals rely very heavily on UPS. Another area in the movement is electronic components. If you look at defense contractors who use a lot of them, they'll be impacted. Apparel will be hit. Spare parts for motor vehicles. A lot of stuff gets shipped to the distributor warehouses by parcel carriers. Spare parts for agriculture and spare parts for construction and e-commerce will be affected. We just can't replace UPS's volume. Bingham noted that while UPS rivals could step in, they wouldn't have sufficient capacity to fill the void. We can't add enough to make up for UPS. You can't just show up and say, FedEx, you handle it. And that's the same with the Postal Service and regional and international carriers like DHL. There's not enough collective capacity to handle it. There will be disruptions. For its part, FedEx is advising UPS customers to establish an account now. I love that. If they want to plan for a potential strike later in the summer. In the event of an industry disruption, FedEx Corporation's priority is protecting capacity and service for existing customers. Therefore, shippers who are considering shifting volume to FedEx or are currently in discussions with the company are encouraged to begin shipping with them now. This is why I love capitalism. This is why I love the free market. Is FedEx is out there doing that. DHL is doing it. Every single LTL carrier that is out there is in everybody's ear who works with UPS right now. Amazon is probably just licking their chops, absolutely just ready for this wave to come out. The breakdown in talks followed after several productive days of negotiations, with the two sides reaching a deal on the previously contentious issue of two-tiered wage and benefit scale for drivers and package handlers. Both sides have blamed others, of course, standard. In the stalemate, if the stalemate continues, Michigan Miller believes that the Biden administration could be called in to mediate. I think we can all agree that we don't need the government to mediate shit in this. I can't believe you won't see the big users of parcel sector saying to the White House, you need to intervene. Let me see here. And UPS said in a statement that it wants the union to return to negotiations and continue building on significant progress that we have made. It added that halting negotiations now with the finish line in sight creates significant unease among employees and customers and threatens to disrupt the economy. It added, we are proud of the proposals that we had sent over. Again, the fallout of this, because it's going to be interesting to see who's going to call whose bluff here, because a lot of the shit slinging that you see go out there in the media. Of course, the Teamsters have never done anything wrong, ever. It's always the big bad corporations that they are just out there fighting for the rights of the workers. But it's like, when you start peeling back some of the shit that they're fighting for, it's like, how can you sit there and say that you're for the workers when like you're just getting PTO for your union members? Like that you wouldn't even you can't expect to ever hire anybody and not have PTO out there. But the union somehow convinces these people. And I'm not saying that that UPS isn't without being at fault here in some way, shape, or form. But a lot of the information that I found is that UPS pays better than literally everybody else from the information that I'm found. If you want to fact check me, go right ahead. But just based off of the information that I found, that's what's happening. I just think that anytime something like this comes about, there's a massive opportunity. The capacity is out there. You're going to just see people shifting back. Like, say it gets that bad, right? Where like, hey, there isn't additional capacity. Where is that going to go? That's going to go over to the full truckload sector inevitably. I mean, look at the last couple of years, for example. What happened when, they just needed product off their docks? They needed something off their, they just needed shit shipped out. So they were shipping out a standard, a 6 pallet LTL move on a dedicated truck. They'll find a solution for it. So I don't agree with them in this article that it won't be absorbed. It'll be absorbed. Sprinter vans are going to be seeing uptakes. The box trucks that are out there and available, I would be ready to go if I owned a box truck I would be going to every single one of those UPS shippers that are out there. And I would be looking into that, you guys. The capacity is going to be absorbed. Something is going to happen. And again, you need to be prepared for this, because it's just like when you're onboarding a new customer, or that opportunity that you're looking for is not going to come at your convenience. It's going to come when your customer needs. But I love FedEx marketing and doing what they're doing, because I think that's the beauty of capitalism and the free market is, if somebody else is going to drop the ball, somebody else is going to step in and take over that. And again, you guys, the possibilities are endless with it. That article, it's a good article. I would get up to speed if you haven't, or, if you just like fucking tuning into your boys show and having me read the articles, that's cool too. But I put the links out there, you guys, because I follow up on this, because there's some pretty big implications that could come of this. That article was on TT News. Walkout at UPS would have deep impact on economy, not to be confused with the movie Deep Impact itself. Lewis, what is up? He says, let's go from Quito, Ecuador. I love it, man. Tono Lippi says, pro tip, shipments that people use UPS for that weigh 100 to 150 pounds can go via LTL if you negotiate pricing effectively. Better hurry and get that pricing in place. Very true. Next article is from JOC. And this one is creditors give Yellow more time for potential talks with the Teamsters. I saw a post out there. I want to say it was from Gabe Pankinen. He was talking about the bailout that Yellow received and how somebody's going to step in and bail them out again in this instance. And again, you guys, Yellow's large. Another, like, say UPS, gets all their shit resolved with our friends over at the union, there's an opportunity still here with Yellow that if they, because again, their financial situation's pretty bleak, right? And if they run out of cash and if their creditors don't step up and fund them through this transition, again, there's a lot of opportunity that can come with this. And so, anyways, onto the article. Creditors, including the U.S. government, good to see that your tax dollars are going to bail out that company, are giving Yellow more time to resolve its restructuring dispute with the Teamsters in return for heightened financial oversight. The LTL provider entered into an amended loan agreement with its creditors outlined in the filing Monday with the Securities and Exchange Commission. We are pleased that Yellow has successfully negotiated adjusted EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization, covenant waivers to its existing credit agreement for 1 quarter with the U.S. Treasury and 2 quarters with its term loan lenders, the company spokesman said. The amended credit agreement should give us an additional runway to negotiate with the Teamsters on a solution that provides material wage increases and aligns both parties on modernization of the company. Yellow is trying to prevent the financial lifeline it caught in 2020. And then the trucking company has $1.3 billion in long-term debt. Fuck. $700 million of that is from the U.S. Treasury loan. So a la all of our tax dollars that will come due next year. Debt payments and interest are eating into the company's liquidity. The company's liquidity dropped from $241 million on December 31st to 167. Fuck, that's a big drop. Oh, man. And just after the first quarter, in a lawsuit filed against the Teamsters, Yellow warned it could run out of cash as early as this month. The immediate danger seems to have been averted. The SEC filing said Yellow still has more than $100 million in liquidity as of June 30th. That's crazy. I think about that. $141 million just gone. Gone in 6 months. Anyways, in return, the lenders want weekly liquidity reports, a weekly 13-week operating budget, and a report comparing forecasts and actual results on a line-by-line basis. They also want monthly report on key performance indicators and an operational advisor at Yellow to help create these budgets and reports. The agreement is retroactive. I also look at it like this. Talk about, like, if you were a leader at Yellow, if I was the CEO at Yellow, I would, like, again, whatever their compensation is, I would say I'm working for free until this shit's done, right? Like, if you're a real business owner, which again, I know that the CEO of Yellow didn't found any of this stuff, but again, like in my situation where I'm founder of my company and got all of that stuff up and running, I'm paying for everything. If it was ever in a situation where, we were in dire needs of cash, you go without pay. Like that's the reality of it, right? And then especially when you get bailouts, this is why I'm against a lot of bailouts and stuff like this. I'm not saying that they're not important and they're not necessary in certain situations, but a lot of the times when these bailouts happen and then bonuses get paid out and it's kind of a fucking slap in the face to everybody that's out there. And, again, I think like leadership is key in these moments. And if you're the CEO or if you're a high ranking person at Yellow, this is one of those times where you can really put out there that there is an opportunity to really solidify your team, right? Leadership is so key in these moments. Says that they're not giving up. There's been no sign that the Teamsters are bending on their opposition to Yellow's proposed changes in operations. Yellow has said its refinancing efforts are dependent on their approval. That's what I just hate, right? Like you need the union's approval to make a decision in your business. The union began surveying members, YRC, New Penn, Holland, and Redaway last month. And the contract expires next year, but Yellow wants to reopen the labor agreements ahead of schedule. In the meantime, the company has taken several steps to conserve cash, seeking permission from pension funds to defer select health and pension payments for July and August. And Yellow has asked Biden for direct assistance. We aren't giving up. Our employees who have an average of 14 years tenure want us to be here. Our customers want us here. The SEC finally said that Yellow has an obsolete terminal in Compton, California for $80 million, nearly all of which went to debt repayment. In the LA area, we had 6 facilities, including Compton. Beginning last year, the vast majority of the freight that was handled was shifted to another Yellow facility located just 5 miles away. And it's their modernization strategy that's out there. Again, I think that this is one of those situations where my honest opinion is you guys got yourselves in this mess. You guys better fucking get yourself out of this mess. Like, it's not the responsibility of the taxpayers to come in and bail out another company, right? Like, when there's struggling families that are out there in the streets right now and are behind on everything, we shouldn't be giving more money to bail out companies who have mismanaged their way into this. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a resolution that could be reached, but again, they already received a $700 million lifeline. Like, that's a fuckload of money, and that hasn't been repaid yet. So chances are, I would start there. But again, I just don't think that this is a good look overall for either Yellow or the Teamsters. Like, I don't at all. I just guess, just an overall guess, if they can't get this Yellow one thing resolved and up and running, I bet you that they're going to be either broken apart and sold, or a company's going to come in and buy them up for pennies on the dollar. I know XPO. I don't have any inside information, or I'm not privy to anything, but you know how XPO just split off into multiple business units. Might be a good M&A proposition for XPO to go in and buy out Yellow, or another one of those providers to go in there and buy them out. I don't know. We'll see how this all tends to shake out here. But that article is from the JOC, and creditors give Yellow more time for potential talk with Teamsters. Tono Lippy says, don't believe the hype. Phase 1 Redaway integration was a nightmare. Now they are hoping to complete phase 2, which is the larger haul and new pen integration without the cash they had and a pissed off workforce. Run, don't walk. I can't disagree with that, man. Again, I think that there are so many opportunities that are out there. And again, if you work for Estes, Saya, Old Dominion, I would be salivating at this right now. Absolutely salivating. Because, like, to Tono's points that he was talking about there, you guys, there is freight that can be easily transitioned, right? And if you're competing with that and you're working for a stable company that's out there, that's your fucking biggest selling point, right? Especially if you're non-union. I would be parading around if I was an LTL non-union worker at some of these places, telling them that hey, we're not going to go on strike because we are not union. We don't have anybody else pulling the strings for us. And again, that's what I hate the most about the union is it's like, like, why are we at this point, right? Why are we at this point to where you are out there and essentially going to shut a company down? I think it's bullshit. I truly do. I also think it's bullshit that it got to this point, and that there's no resolution that is seemingly going to happen. And it's just going to turn into a he said, she said. Realistically, it's probably going to get resolved at the last minute, and they're going to have to call on the federal government to come in and make some moves, which is probably what's going to happen, because we have a great way of loving to spend a shitload of money, but we don't know how to balance our own budget in the government. But anyways, I'm not here to talk about that. That's probably what's going to happen in this one. Just like with UPS, I'm assuming someone's going to step in and be the all-time savior last minute. But again, I would be selling on this uncertainty if I was competing against either UPS or Yellow in either market. I would be selling on that nonstop, as the fact that your reliability will not go unchecked, because we're not going to strike. We're not going to shut down. We're going to continue to work, and we're here to do the additional volume and everything else to accommodate this windfall, or this potential windfall of freight that's going to come out there. And again, even if you're a broker and you specialize in LTL, I would be all over this right now. I would literally be all over this. And especially if they move any full truckload opportunities also, shit, guys, fire up those phones, fire up those emails, and get in front of some people. But that will be it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. As always, you guys, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. And if you guys got value in this, subscribe and share the show, you guys. Rank the show. Get it out there, you guys. That's how we've grown into the top transportation podcast, is because of each and every one of you. And that if you guys see value, your network's going to see value in it as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll be talking to you soon.